Check 1 2 1 2 1 2. All right. All right, check 1 2 1 2. We are checking the microphone, making sure everything is up to par. All right, with the instructions from my good brother, Mr. Kalanji Shanga. All right, greetings, family, greetings. It's the first episode of On the Masses, and of course, this is your host, Professor Griff, trying to get the setting right, trying to get the mood right, trying to get the technical thing right. First, from the outstart, let me say this: nothing of what this is my disclaimer. Nothing of what I say personally, I should be reflected upon, or anyone else on this particular broadcast, meaning Black Power Media. This is On the Masses on Black Power Media, but I'm the host of On the Masses, and this is Professor Griff. So let me give you all my phone number off the top, off the rip. All right. My phone number is 678-557-2919. That's 678-557-2919. All right. Text me, call me, hit me up, and voice your concern. There is no reason why you have to go outside of you and I having a private conversation in order for us to dialogue. This is called kind of dealing with not damage control. This is conflict resolution. As we navigate through racism, white supremacy, we have to know and understand that it is vitally important that we have a line of communication with one another, to the degree where we can dialogue, we can break bread. All right, because one comment, one statement, one thing that you might not agree with or understand should be the thing that the straw that breaks the camel's back. All right, so let's understand that particular dynamic and policy that we need to kind of put in place. Way beyond a policy, how about a protocol that we need to kind of put in place? All right. All right, so now, hold on one second. Let me give a few shout outs and thank everybody and welcoming me to this particular platform. This is the first episode. And of course, I haven't abandoned my Serious Minds family, nor have I abandoned my Serious Minds duties. So just from the rip, of course, shout out to Black Power Media. Thanks to Kalanji for the invitation for me to be on here. There's a lot that's been going on since I've did Enemy Minds to Serious Minds. Of course, I'm still doing Serious Minds, but now here on Black Power Media, and invite other revolutionaries that are still revolutionaries to join Black Power Media so we can raise the vibrational pitch of these conversations. All right. All right, hold on. Somebody said they can't hear me. Quan, can you hear me now? Shout out to Quan. Can you hear me now? My mic is on. Mic is on. Mic is up. All right. I think everybody can hear me now. All right. Shout out to Quan, of course, who's been a supporter and who's been a very integral part of Serious Minds to get this information out. It is the people like her that we need with boots on the ground in the field to make sure this information gets through. All right, so salute. Salute to Quan S. All right. I got a few announcements I'm going to make, but shout out to all of the Serious Minds family, and all those that went from Enemy Minds to Serious Minds. Shout out to all those individuals that we will probably never know the names of. I know that's a double negative, but we will never know the names of these individuals. They're just out in the field, and sometimes when I'm out and about, I see these individuals, and we break bread and we dialogue. All right. Shout out to my man Trent. All right, in New Orleans. Shout out to all those individuals like Trent in New Orleans for at least having the gall and the wherewithal and the testicular fortitude to stand up in public and stand up in private. A lot of us just won't. All right, unless it's some reward at the end of the day. All right, so shout out to brothers like him. And I will be mentioning many other brothers that have stood up. All right, so just from the outstart, this is the first episode, and I truly do want to talk about this whole idea of rap, what it means to us as far as the culture is concerned. These politics, we call them polytricks because there are many tricks and many ticks, many bloodsuckers. All right, and we want to definitely talk about the two political parties that it seems like we're mentally, spiritually, politically nailed to the cross to. We sandwich between the Republican Party and the Democratic Party. All right, and we need to understand what those parties' agendas are. All right, and who controls both of the parties before we allow them to take rap, before we allow them to take the hip hop culture. Shout out to Minister Server. Shout out to Paradise Gray. All right. And I mention those two brothers because we definitely lit the fuse in order to ignite the fuse, rather, in order to have the conversation and show up as three to God way. All right. Professor Griff, Minister Server, and Paradise Gray. But we are the keepers of the culture. So shout out to Minister Server. So when we start talking about the idea of allowing people to take this higher infinite power, which is hip hop, and use it however they want to use it, when they want to use it, especially doing this very delicate, intricate political season that we're in. And we need to understand where we are in order to understand where we need to go. But at the same time, we need to kind of serve notice to some of these people that want to take rap and take hip hop and use it as part of their political agenda. All right? Okay, cool. Now, with that said, all right, let me get through a couple of announcements and then we'll kind of dive into this particular subject. Keep in mind, when we open, the chat is already open. So when we dialogue about this particular thing, I think the method and the method that I want to use on this platform is, if you truly want to get on and you really truly have something to say and you want to dialogue, I think it'd be a beautiful thing to that when the advertisement goes out, to say, listen, I might want to add something to that particular thing. If you just want to stay anonymous and you want to stay in the chat and hide behind a some kind of code name that you're using for your platform or who you are, and you don't really want people to know, then by all means do that. If you want to come on and you want to dialogue and you want to talk, I say let's do that also, but I need to know in advance. All right. Shout out to Ernest Grant, my man Ernster. All right, so listen. So let me get a couple of announcements out the way. Myself, Soleil, and my man Tunisia. Y'all know him by DJ Fourth World, but y'all, if y'all up to date and you'll press the reset button, y'all know him by DJ Fifth World. All right. I definitely want to shout out my wife, Soleil, whom whatever it is, what and wherever it is, and whatever it is that I'm doing, I deem it necessary to give her the level of honor and respect that she so deserves, because whatever it is I do. If I'm planting, if I'm feeding the damn birds in the backyard, she's there helping. You understand what I'm saying? And this is what your helping meat is supposed to do. This is what your mate is supposed to do. This is what your partner in this struggle. There's many terms that we could use in many different cultures. Do you understand what I'm saying? I think in this culture they say your wife. That's a beautiful thing, but this is deeper than that. When you're talking about you're in this revolutionary struggle to raise the vibrational pitch of our people, it's deeper than that. So I definitely want to not only give her flowers while she's still here among us and doing the work with boots on the ground. Some I heard somebody say boots on the ground and minds in the air. Nah, not unless we're talking about the ether and that kind of thing. We want to get super deep, but no, that's a sister that's already has been in the struggle, and will remain in the struggle. Although a lot of y'all may not see her in the circles that you may operate in. All right, but nonetheless, she's there, and I want to give her, and I want to say thanks and give her flowers while she's constantly doing the work. All right, so thank you very much. And I say all that to say this. My good brother Tunisia, who I'm presently intertwining this particular musical vibration with, we call it solistics, and we surface and do that when we deem it necessary. And we deem this particular thing necessary that we're about to do on September 14th. And this particular thing is the Ubuntu flow, guided this African ecstatic dance being guided by Soleil. So it is the Ubuntu Flow, September 14th, 2024, from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the Arts Exchange, 2148 Noonan Street in East Point, Georgia. Once again, the Ubuntu Flow. All right. And as I get more familiar, once again, with this particular platform, I'll be able to put the flyer up so you guys can see it. But it's the Ubuntu Flow, all right? September 14th, 2024. If you're in the Atlanta area or you'd like to come to the Atlanta area, it's from 4 to 7 with DJ Fifth World on the ones and twos. And, of course, guiding this ecstatic dance is Soleil, all right? And, of course, myself, Soleil, and Tunisia will be putting this particular event on. You can go to www.goddesstempleoflove.com events. www.goddesstempleoflove events. So Quan, if you still hear me, can you put that in the chat? www.goddesstempleoflove.com//events. All right. If you want to participate in the Ubuntu Flow, which is the African ecstatic dance. If you don't know what ecstatic dance is, let's talk for a brief second before we dive into this subject. Ecstatic dance experiences free-form dance, gathering guided, intentionally curated music with an intention of offering the potential for a deeply healing experience through the medium of non-choreographed dance as a mystical experience and healing balm. All right. So what we are attempting to do with the ecstatic dance in this particular thing that we're doing on September 8th. Hold on. On September 14th, pardon me. We need you to come up out of your head and into your body. All right. This is ecstatic dance. It's a safe environment for brothers to come and be yourself. No longer are we going to go to the party, go to the club, go to wherever we are at, celebrating ourselves and celebrating our rich legacy of Black music. No longer are we going to play the wall. All right. No longer are we going to have the sippy cup playing the wall and just watch everybody else do their thing. We're going to get involved and we're going to be involved. And this is a good way to do it. September 14th from 4 to 7 p.m. with this Ubuntu Flow ecstatic dance. All right. Myself, Professor Griff, DJ Fifth World, and of course, Soleil guiding us through this particular ecstatic dance. All right. It's a beautiful thing because it's a dance, it's music, And of course, it's a ritual as we make ourselves back to ourselves. All right. All right. I think it's very necessary for the sisters to encourage the brothers get out. This is not a man's thing. This is not a woman thing. This is a us thing. Everybody's going to come together and we're going to participate in this Ubuntu flow. It's a flow. It's a vibe. All right. It's a static dance. All right. Real quick, because I'm not going to be on here long. We need to talk about the whole idea of why do some of these political people see it necessary to use rap and use hip hop whenever they feel like they want to pull it out of their soggy diaper, and to put it back on Front Street to advance their agenda. These individuals don't rap. These individuals are not MCs. These individuals are not breakers. These individuals have not tagged their name on a wall, on a train, on a street, on a lamppost, anywhere, on canvas. All right? These particular individuals, I've never seen them on the ones and twos. These individuals truly don't know and understand the vibrational pitch and tone of our spirit when we talk about hip hop, which is high infinite power, healing our people. So why do they deem it necessary to take and use aspects of the 5 elements of hip hop and use it to their advantage during these political seasons? A very sensitive political season. As Quan just let us know, when we start talking about this Democratic plantation, this Republican plantation, all right, this Democratic plantation with these minstrel shows that go on. Let me see. I took some notes because, unlike a lot of other people, I want to be politically correct, not when it comes to them, but when it comes to us and speaking with us as a people. So when we start talking about the being politically correct, if politics, and I think we do need to define politics, if politics is the science of governing people, right? What is it that we're adhering to? What is it that our souls are adhering to that's going to govern our spirit, our souls, our thinking, and not way and above beyond that, but in sync with that, govern our behavior? I've seen some things recently on social media that our ancestors right now are turning over in their graves. All right? They're turning over in their graves right now. Oh, I think I need to add some light over here on this side because I'm seeing half of my grill. Hold up, fam. Hold up 1 second. Let me just brighten this. All right. That might be a little better. I like the other vibe better. But yeah, this sheds a little bit light on the subject. All right. So now, people have been using hip hop. For example, this may be on the subject, but slightly off the subject. But we're talking about rap, politics, politics, and the Re-Publa-Kkkrats. All right. Now, Soleil, I don't know what you put in this, but yeah, we're going to talk. All right. Anyway, we're talking about rap, politics, and the Re-Publa-Kkkrats. All right. When I say Re-Publa-Kkkrats, I'm talking about the Democrats and the Republicans, which we all know they are 2 wings of the same damn bird. All right. And if that is the case, then let's understand this particular dynamic. All right. So I think several weeks ago, and I'm getting this from Reckon.news. All right. It says, even before Trump's assassination attempt Saturday galvanized his cult following. I don't know where they got this chick from, but anyway, there are a lot of hip hop women for Trump that's coming out for Trump. All right. And one of these particular hip hop women, it says women in hip hop, including Sexy Red, Amber Rose, and Azalea Banks, are endorsing Trump, raising questions about their influence and the political implications. It says, what's driving these unexpected alliances between Trump and these particular individuals? Now, the three individuals that I named, like, keep in mind, if those three individuals hear this, or anybody else's name that I mentioned hear this, don't take none of this personal. My phone number is 678-557-2919. And Izzy said the same thing I said. How is Amber Rose hip hop? What makes Amber Rose hip hop? I'm gonna take a deep breath. I can't even sit back. I might get too comfortable. But we need that question answered. What makes, other than you having a sexual rendezvous with a rapper, what makes you hip hop? And not only that, what makes you qualified to stand on a platform and a sacrifice that we've made in the hip hop community, all right, to even wear that title or allow that particular title to go out and that information to go out as such, for you not to come back around now and check it. So then what you did was, without you checking it, you went on that particular platform and everybody thought you was repping and representing the rap culture or the hip hop culture overall. All right? No. I would politely like to say, sit your ass down somewhere. All right? Thank you very much, P-Funk 100. All right? Don't believe the hype. I don't know what qualifies any individual to be considered hip-hop. All right? But I can honestly say, I think I can say I'm hip-hop. All right? I can honestly say, from my limited vantage point, I don't know how limited, what kind of limits you want to put on it, but I think I got a bird's eye view, and I can call the roll. I think I can honestly say the DPs, Dead Prez, is hip hop. I think I could say the Teacher, KRS-One, is hip hop. I think I could say that. You understand what I'm saying? I think I could rattle off a few other names. I think I could say that X-Clan. I think I could say Soleil is hip hop. I think I could say that Public Enemy is hip hop. You understand what I'm saying? I think I could call the roll, but I don't want to call the roll to the degree where I'm just rattling off names, simply because I would want you to go check these particular individuals out, because I want you to take them in that list and set that list next to some of the individuals that I read that are standing up, representing hip hop. Okay. I'm getting messages from some people. You see, when you put your phone number out there, you got to expect that. It's a beautiful thing, but don't worry about it. All right? Hold on. All right. So I want you to take that list, and I want you to put that list next to some of these particular individuals. All right? Hold on. Azalea Banks, Sexy Red, Amber Rose. All right? The only thing that might qualify Sexy Red as a rapper is just the mere fact that she raps. We're not going to say whether or not it's good, bad, or we like it or we don't like it. Don't worry about that. That's another conversation for another time. All right? Okay. My phone number is 678-557-2919. All right. Quan, you can put the number in. I'm good. Florida rapper Kodak Black releases Trump campaign song. It says former President Donald Trump and rap star Kodak Black have gotten together, not necessarily teamed up, but Kodak Black penned a song to support Donald Trump. So let me ask you, everyone, something real quick. Why is it that we only hear from these particular individuals in this political kind of vein only every 4 years? We only hear from them every now and then. So you mean to tell me you're only political every 4 years, and then all the other time, the other 3 years, the rest of the time that we're kind of doing the work with boots on the ground, galvanizing our people's energy so that we can kind of at least formulate an independent party, so you're not stuck between the Democratic Party and the Republican Party. Thank you very much, Ultra Instinct. Sarat, yeah, it's hip hop, of course. Rhapsody, of course, hip hop. All right, and they just calling the roll. I ain't got time to call the whole roll, but I'm just saying, yeah. But I want you to be able to take these names that we're rattling off and put them next to some of these other individuals. All right. So why is it we're only political when it comes to this particular election season? All right. So then we have to be very mindful. And those individuals, those names, not the hip hop names that I read off. I'm talking about the Kodak Blacks and the Sexy Reds and these other people. You have to be very mindful. And let me put you up on game. Politically speaking, you're being used. Your influence, the mere fact that they are trolling your social media pages to see how much influence and how many numbers that you're doing, you're being used in this political season so they can reach voters. Now, when we say voters, we talk about those particular individuals that still have the right to vote, that can put their energy, not only their energy in the I'm talking about the ballot box. All right, we're talking about using their particular energy and galvanizing that energy so you, as a quote unquote influencer, have sway over individuals, and they want to use your energy so you could persuade other individuals to vote for these particular candidates. But I'm saying to you, have you as individuals educated those people that follow you on the voting process? Everybody just stop for a second, press the pause button, and take a deep breath. We're talking about educating people. All right? We're talking about educating people to the degree where they are informed. Educating people to the point where they're informed. Hold on. Let me go snatch me some tissue real quick. Think about that. I'll be right back. All right? All right. We need to take these particular things that go down, especially this particular election, a lot more serious. Those of us that know and understand how this particular thing works, we already know it's a selection. All right. These particular individuals are selected. I think it was a calculated move. To let Joe Biden go as long as he went, in reference to give people a degree of hope in the particular party that he represents. if he's representing the Democratic Party, and you look at the landscape of individuals that could possibly get the nomination for the presidency of the United States, until they went and took those particular individuals and locked themselves in a back room somewhere and says, you know something, our best bet is Kamala Harris. Now, there's some other names I could run off that were potential nominees or running or candidates that would run in the Democratic Party under the Democratic ticket that could possibly go against Donald Trump. I'm not sure whether it was their track record or those particular individuals, could they stand the pressure and stand the weight, or the people that are really running the things. I'm talking about the ones that control the Democratic and Republican Party. Remember, we said these are two wings of the same damn bird. I'm not sure whether or not if they chose them. Now, let's keep in mind, when I say the Kodak Blacks and the Sexy Reds and the Amber Roses and the regular, these other people need to, the Azealia Banks need to educate their followers on the on what politics even is, the electoral process, all right, the voter process, and there is a difference, all right. Let's roll our minds back. Hillary Clinton got 3 million more votes than Donald Trump, but Donald Trump still became the president of the United States of America simply because the Electoral College voted him in. So I want to ask these other artists that I'm about to mention, have you educated your followers? Have you educated the people? Have you educated the people that follow you? All right, that listen to your music, that love, honor, respect you, listen to you. Have you educated these particular individuals? These individuals, have you educated your followers in what the Electoral College is? How does that process work? And I think it's necessary. It's necessary that we do that simply because we don't want ignorant followers. You don't want people just going to the polls, because if you kind of put this woman in place as the president of the United States, and then the whole idea, and which is come up, I've seen it all over social media, on whether or not she's black. That's another conversation we need to have at another time. All right. So when we start talking about this political chaos that's going on, this identity politics versus this political extremism, I should say. Identity politics versus political extremism is a very real thing. So when you start talking about the MAGA maniacs on the left or the right, do you understand what I'm saying? And we need to understand what that when they start talking like that, whether you're on the left or the right, we need to talk of the aisle. We need to talk about what the aisle represents, all right, in occultic terms. When we're dealing with symbology, we need to start talking about what these particular things mean, because the average person just doesn't know. The average person, like Miss Crockett from Texas, who I admire her mind, I admire her energy. She's well spoken. She's very articulate, very smart, very intellectual, very well researched. But I wonder when we start to talk about those particular individuals and those rituals and those occultic rituals that we go through every 4 years, what does it really mean to her? And does she really even understand what that particular thing means on that level? All right. So anyway, rap, politics, and the Re-Publa-Kkkrats. All right, I'm going to address some of the things that's happening inside of the chat in a minute. All right. So when we start, Anthony D, thank you very much. When we start talking about delegates, super delegates, 90% of us don't fully understand the process and what this particular thing means. Do you understand what I'm saying? Quan says none of the presidential candidates has a black agenda. What is their agenda when it comes to us? And yes, we should call them on the carpet when we give them our votes. Yes, we should be asking something for our votes. All right. I don't know who it was earlier this week says we shouldn't be asking anything for our votes. What do you mean? I think it was Uncle what's the Uncle Tom dude? Bald-headed guy with the thick pedophile mustache. What's the dude, man, that they've given every show to and given them why Steve Harvey? God damn, thank you. Damn. Steve Harvey talking about we shouldn't be asking anything in return for our vote. Yes, we should. Why shouldn't we? If we're giving these people not only our vote, but our energy, and we're helping galvanize energy to vote for this particular woman, yeah, we need to question her about her blackness. Because I haven't heard her say she's black too many times. I've heard her say she's Indian. You understand what I'm saying? So let's understand this particular dynamic and how it works, fam. All right, let me go back to some of my notes. Hold on. I'm getting there. Let me see. I did have some things kind of saved I wanted to talk about. Go back to my library. Nope, not that. Let me go here. Let me go to my album. While I'm looking this up, let me address some of the things that you guys are talking about in the chat. Okay, let me see. There's not a black agenda because white hegemonic system only agenda is to dehumanize and exploit and oppress Africans for the monetary consumption. Very well put, Indigenous Nightmare Network. I have to respectfully disagree with you. If you haven't been among us to even get an idea of what a black agenda is, there is a black agenda. Peace to Dr. Khalid El Hakim. There is a black agenda. Now, if you haven't been operating in those circles that we've been operating in, yes, there is a black agenda. And our black agenda includes not only our African brothers and sisters, but black people throughout the black African diaspora. And that includes Brazil, South America, the African continent, and all over the globe. Every place where we've put our footprint in the sands of time. That's who and what we are talking about when we talk about the black agenda. And we need to understand that particular dynamic. The divisive talk I hear coming from a lot of groups want to ostracize certain groups because they come from a certain part of the planet and they speak with a certain dialect, or they speak with a certain accent. Well, we're not doing that. When we talk about the black agenda, this includes those particular individuals. So if Kamala wants to be black at this particular time of the season, then she needs to step up and address black people. And she needs to speak to our concerns. And we're going to lay those particular terms out, because if no one has, and I'm sure they have, I'm not talking about the bougie, boule type characters that have articulated what they think the black agenda is. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about those of us that still want to be black. We need to lay out the black agenda and what it is. So then when Kamala Harris speaks and anybody else that speaks to and about black people, they're addressing these particular things that we have laid out in the black agenda. reparations is part of the Black agenda. All right. So when we start talking like this, we need to start calling some of these people to task. All right. When we start talking about the Black agenda. All right. And what you can do, Indigenous Nightmare Network, you can get this book, Putting It All Together by Terrence Jackson. Shout out to Terrence Jackson. World Conquest, Global Genocide, and African Liberation. All right. There are many people that have put information out there dealing with the Black agenda. I'm going to read from this in a second, but let me just finish this particular point. All right. Yeah, we can call the roll on who these handpicked Negroes are. Questlove is one of them. Charlemagne the God is another one. All right. Chuck D is another one. All right. When these handpicked Negroes, Common is another one. When we start talking about these handpicked Negroes, that's going to be the buffer class. All right. And represent our concerns. No, we need to question them also. All right. Quan, Essed, Roland Martin is another one. All right. So we need to understand who these Boule type Negroes are. Do you understand what I'm saying? That was chosen by the people that control the Democratic and the Republican Party. All right. You're going to get some buck dancing. You're going to get some chicken eating, some watermelon contests. You understand what I'm saying? You're going to get all of this during this season. So in the next month and a half or so, before we run up on November 5th, you're going to see these Negroes doing a whole lot of buck dancing. All right? And any of them Negroes that I called out, my phone number is 678-557-2919. 678-557-2919. Don't sit back and take shots at Professor Griff hiding behind your YouTube channel or your Instagram page. We could meet up somewhere face-to-face in person in dialogue. All right? That's not a problem for me. Because we see what your agenda is. We want to make your agenda clear. I heard Kamala Harris use terminology that the Black Panther Party used. All right? That the BLA used. Man, I'm like, wow, you reaching right now for real. She's going back into the phraseology and the terminology of the Black Panther Party and some of them radical organizations that kick the Black Panther Party and other organizations that kick down the door so that we may even be on a platform like this to even have this conversation. You right, B son. I'm not going to forget the Coon and Negro Flavor Slave. All right. Snoop Dogg. Who these other Negroes? Hold on, where's my phone? Hold on. Who's the sister that made a whole Democratic Republican Party song? Hold on. Who's this dude? Yeah, Little John. I would just like to ask people like this a question. Listen, I got love for everybody that I just mentioned. I don't hate these individuals. What is wrong with me as a mature adult Black man? What is wrong with me talking to them and asking them some questions? Y'all got a problem with that? Little John, you got a problem with me having a conversation with you? It could be in private. Common, you got a problem with Professor Griff talking to you, dialoguing, trying to see where your head is at? Maybe I need to be over there with you. But you got a problem with me talking to you? Like, let's have a conversation. What's wrong with that? Simultaneously, in every city that's of mention, last night, they used the vibratory pitch of music to galvanize the minds and hearts of the people so they can come out and vote. Did y'all see that last night? Who was it in Chicago? All right, hold on. Who's this chick? Now that she running with Biden, I'm vibing. You mad and you whack a black woman made you. Hold on. Kamala, I'm so lit, I don't know what I'ma do. Now that she running with Biden, I'm vibing. You mad and you whack a black woman made you. She ripping AKs, I'm ripping DST, but we are all the same. Call it Greek unity. She is my sister and I am her shit. If it ain't the excellence. So call it Greek unity. She AKA you, whatever you claim yourself to be, but we viral hip hop song Kamala resurfaces after Biden endorses Kamala Harris. Hannibal, I don't see a problem with they coming to talk to Professor Griff. You will sit. Hold on. You will sit on everybody's damn couch and have a conversation with. I'm not asking you, first of all. Let's get it straight from the rip. I'm not asking you to come talk to me. I'm just saying what's wrong with it. You understand what I'm saying? What's wrong with you having a conversation with Professor Griff? You were so quick to go on the pink camps, the drink camps, Charlemagne, the whoever, breakfast club and the lunch club and the dinner club, and you drinking over here and sitting on that person's leather couch and this one's pink sofa and whatever. You will talk with them. And I think you'll do that because they're not going to put your ass on Front Street and ask you some real questions. I'm going to ask you some real questions. Yeah, Ricky Smiley. All the boule characters they use in the minstrel show. I know y'all like, damn, Griff, this is a hell of a first show. You just, man, hold on. Y'all ain't got to worry about none of them Negroes that I mentioned being my goddamn friends. All of them got my phone number. All of them know who I am. They don't want to be friends with me anyway. There was one Negro who kept buck dancing and shuffling and scratching and all this other kind of stuff because we was in the same room. I ain't gonna mention his name. We were in the same room and he didn't want to get caught in a picture with me. These Negroes don't want to be my friend. Because to be my friend, we have to have real conversation, man. You're right. Quan, it's the Boule Jubilee. Anyway, get Terrence Jackson's book, Putting It All Together, World Conquest, Global Genocide, and African Liberation. I didn't want to go too deep on this show because this is an introductory show. I will always give reference to some of the things I've mentioned. All right. It's a beautiful thing. So hopefully Kalanji can come on for the last. I don't think he can because I think he's doing something at 12:30 or so. But anyway, Appendix C on page 128 of Terrence Jackson's book. All right. Some political theories and principles of ancient African constitutional law and fundamental rights of African people. Contrary to popular belief, we do have some fundamental basic human rights that I think some of these Negroes that I mentioned need to kind of go back and read, know, and understand. All right, like Spike Lee. All right. These Negroes are breaking their back to get this Indian woman in office, and this Indian woman have already said she's not doing jack bone for black people. That's like you going out on a date. All right. I'm talking to you, sisters. You going out on a date with a man, and he laid out his agenda to you. Look, we can go out on a date, but this is what I need from you, but I don't plan on giving you anything. This is like you, brother, applying for a job, laying your resume out, and your plantation owner, which is your job, letting you know, yeah, this is the salary that we would be giving you, but yeah, I don't think we're going to give it to you. But we do need you to come work. The hell kind of agreement is that? You going to go work for some damn, you said black girl magic? Show me the black girl, John Public. But you can you imagine going to work for some damn body and you see the salary, but they don't plan on paying you? Hold on. I'm going to get back to Terrence Jackson for the few minutes I'm going to be on here. Hold on.
Donald Trump has a rap sheet.
This is Miss Crockett from Texas.
Kamala Harris has a resume. Donald Trump has a rap sheet. She presides over the Senate while he keeps our national secrets next to his thinking chair. Y'all know what I said that other time. In Mar-a-Lago. Well, Donald Trump wants to put our 1787 Constitution through his Project 2025 paper shredder and make every day January 6th, Kamala Harris is fighting to fulfill the promise of America. In the real world, this wouldn't even be close. But this election is. Don't make a mistake.
We went through 8 years of Barack Obama. Can I ask you a question, Mr. John Public and some of you other people on here? What do we get out of it? Drop more bombs on more Muslims in more African places than we can mention right now in the 7 minutes that I have left on this broadcast. Dismantled some of the things that we fought, bled, and died for in the 8 years he's been in office. All right? Just for the Indian woman to come along and start quoting.
Top artists support Kamala Harris. Number 1.
Hold on. Just for Kamala Harris to come along and quote one of the Migos? Come on.
My friend Quavo would say, he does not walk it like he talks it.
Do you know?
I want to understand. I truly want to understand. What do we even think that we're going to get out of this if we're not putting the black agenda on her desk as the vice president? Even as the vice president, she had the opportunity, the wherewithal, the energy, the power, and the means to do something for black people. But like Barack Obama, she did nothing as vice president. And we understand Sloppy Joe's track record. I'm talking about Joe Biden. We know his track record when it comes to black people. Black people, I got a serious question to ask you after I read from Terrence Jackson's book. Drawn from the African traditional, constitutional, and customary laws, different versions are in different places right now, but this is the one from Chancellor Williams, The Destruction of Black Civilization. 1. The people are the first and final source of all power. All power to all of the people. All power to all of the people. All power to all of the people. 2. The rights of the community of the people are of a right ought to be superior to those of the individual, including chiefs, kings, politicians, flunkies, and the rest of these characters. The people should be first, way above the individual. The people should be first. 3. Kings, chiefs, elders, and leaders, politicians, and the rest of these flunkies, rulers or whoever, they are elected to as representatives of the people. All right? We work for the people. We do what we do for the people. We need to institute people power. All power to all of the people. All right? We're in service to the people not in service to us. All right, we need to understand that particular dynamic. 4, the government of the people are one and the same. Government and the people are one and the same. All right, the people support those particular people that they put in power in government, but the government people in government serve the people. They get in office and they forget about the people, especially black people. I swear, man, they knew that you was gonna start eating watermelon, buck dancing, and eating chicken, and that's all they're gonna give you in this election. That's all you're getting. They're gonna have these. They're gonna flaunt these Negroes and some of these corny rappers in front of you. They're gonna buck dance to get your vote, and you're not gonna hear from them in the political sense for the rest of the damn year. I'm not gonna read all of them, but the elder of each extended family or clan, all right, or group or organization, are chosen to sit in a council and have this particular dialogue that we're having right now. All right. All right. Putting it all together, Terrence Jackson. All right. World Conquest, Global Genocide, and African Liberation. For the few minutes that I have left, I want to say this. Black people, and I'm quoting the last poets. Thank you, Khalid. Dr. Khalid El Hakim. I'm thanking Khalid because he's keeping me close to them brothers, the last poets. He's keeping me close to the spirit and the energy of Gil Scott-Heron, Fela Kuti, James Brown, Jimi Hendrix, all those individuals that we have and that we represent and educate people around this country and throughout the world in the Black History 101 Mobile Museum. All right? Because there's a message in the music. There's a message in the movement. There's music that support the movements. All right, but what is the music that we use to support the movement? They're using music right now, and artists and rappers to support this particular political movement. Someone needs to put it together like Dr. Khalid El Hakim has put together to let you know who are these other individuals that put music together and their energy together, like Jimi Hendrix, like Miles Davis. Who are these individuals? So let me say this in closing. And I need y'all to put this in the chat because we need an answer. I didn't forget about those protest songs from Dead Prez, Public Enemy, Brand Nubian, Exclaim, Sister Soldier. I didn't forget. Black people, what y'all gonna do? Nina Simone, thank you. Black people, what y'all gonna do? KRS-One, thank you. Black people, what y'all gonna do? Black people, what y'all gonna do? Black people, what y'all gonna do? Will the real black people please stand up? This is Professor Griff, and I attempt from the first show to the last, from the first episode to the last, I am going to raise the vibrational pitch of our thinking into the mind of the Creator. All right? I am going to arm the masses. I am going to arm the masses. So black people, what y'all gonna do? Will the real black people please stand up? This is Professor Griff, and this has been Arm the Masses. And we're gonna arm the masses right here on Black Power Media. All right? I love y'all to life. Revolution is not an event. It's a process. Peace.